Hello! Today I'm making some Christmas cocktails. There's alcohol in all of these drinks. If that bothers you, don't watch. This is your opportunity to click away, swim away, swim away. But I am first gonna show you what I've got working behind me. We're gonna make 5 different Christmas cocktails. So let's go through what I've got and then we'll get started making some. All right, drink number 1 is going to be a peppermint martini. So I've got peppermint twist vodka. I have peppermint schnapps, and I have some Irish cream liqueur. Also, I have some rice milk. Drink number 2 will have silver tequila, white chocolate liqueur, and this is rice milk that has been steeping in cinnamon sticks overnight. And then we're gonna do a shot with raspberry liqueur and white chocolate liqueur. And then over here, we're going to make a cranberry gin fizz. So we've got gin, elderflower liqueur, we've got raz cranberry LaCroix back there, and then here we have our cranberry syrup that I made yesterday. I will insert that footage now. This is everything I need to make my spiced Cranberry Cosmo syrup. So I've got 2 bags of cranberries, an orange. I have a little spice mixture that I made. This has cinnamon, a little bit of clove, some nutmeg, and some ginger. I think I did half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 to 1/8 of a teaspoon of clove. Clove is really, really strong. I did half a teaspoon of nutmeg and half a teaspoon of ginger. I tossed it all in here. And then I've got 2 cups of water. So I'm gonna slice this orange and put it all in the saucepan and let it cook for a little while. And then I will strain it out until it's just like a liquid. So I'll strain all of the fruit pulp and some of the spices out. But first, I have to cook it. So I'll put it all in the saucepan and show you what it looks like then. All right, it is all in the saucepan. It's gonna start heating up. I am going to let this cook and reduce for a little while on probably like a medium heat. The cranberries will all burst open and let their juice out. So you want a lid to keep that from splattering all over your kitchen. But that will make it look like there's more liquid. It will kind of add liquid to it and make it more like a fruit soup, sort of. But it has to heat up first, so I'm gonna add the lid and let that sit and get happy for a little while. I did not end up adding any more water to this. I just let it boil, so I'm gonna continue to let this cook for a little while. But I wanted to show you what it looked like in the middle of cooking. I do want to let this boil for a little while though, just to make sure that I get all of that cranberry flavor out of there. Also, we're watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, don't judge us. Alright, I let it cook a little while longer. I did end up adding 2 more cups of water to it just because it was starting to look just a little bit like it had reduced already, and I didn't want it to do that just yet. So I took it off the heat and now I'm going to strain it once. And I'll probably strain it again through something finer just to get the spices out, but it smells delightful. So let's get some of that fruit pulp out of there. It's straining, but it's gonna take a few minutes to get that juice out of there, so I'm just gonna let it sit for a while. I'm also going to use this cranberry syrup in my spiced Cranberry Cosmo. So for that I'm using spiced cranberry vodka, a little bit of triple sec, my cranberry juice, and then maybe some of the Welch's grape juice. I'm also going to be using some fruit juices for this one and for this one, but they're still in the freezer. So I will show you that when I start making them. But I think we should start with, what do you want to start with, Mom?
Either any all or none.
I think we should start with our Cranberry Cosmo. So let's make that one first. First I'm going to start with my cocktail shaker and some ice cubes that I've made out of fruit juice. You could use ice and then regular fruit juice if it's not frozen, but this is a life hack of sorts that Mom and I have adopted, and I love it because it comes in really, really handy. So I've got this one's actually clementine juice, and this one is lemon juice. And since I have these frozen, I'm gonna forego the ice in the cocktail shaker. And now I'm going to add my spiced cranberry vodka. I'm gonna go for 2 ounces, right in there. And then I'm gonna do 1 ounce of triple sec. shake our cranberry syrup. And then this one gets 2 ounces of the cranberry syrup. And then if you want to make it just a little bit less boozy, you can add some white grape juice. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 ounce of this to sort of water it down just a little bit. And now we shake. I like to shake until it sounds like the ice is all gone, just because it means that that juice has thawed out. So there is our spiced cranberry Cosmopolitan. What do you think?
That's very special. Holiday spice.
It's like a Cosmopolitan, so it's easy to drink. It's fruity and tart. I think Mom liked that one. Did you say it was tasty?
That one was very tasty. I liked that a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of nice because it's like a Cosmo, but a little bit special for the holidays with the holiday spices in this. So now I'm gonna make the cranberry gin fizz, which is another way to make this that's a little bit less sweet, a little more fizzy. I have a highball glass, so I'm gonna add some ice to this. It's a Collins glass, not a highball glass. Now I'm gonna add some lemon juice. And then one of my clementine juice cubes. And then I'm gonna add some gin. I'm gonna do 2 ounces for this one. And the gin for this, you don't want to be very peppery or sharp. You kind of want it to be a softer, fruitier or more floral gin. You don't want it to be too peppery or licoricey. And then we're gonna add some elderflower. I'm gonna do 1/2 ounce. I think it's really easy to go overboard on elderflower. I think it can be really potent. Smell that.
Oh yeah, wow. Let's do it like this if you're smelling.
Yeah, it's really floral, really potent. So I add that in there. And then my cranberry syrup. I have not done that yet. Okay, so 1 ounce of the cranberry syrup in this.
That's so pretty.
It is really pretty. And then we shake. All right, and I'm pouring this one over ice. And it's not gonna fill the whole glass up, and that's okay, because we're gonna top it off with club soda. You could do Sprite, you could do club soda. I'm doing Raz Cranberry LaCroix because it's what we have, and it kind of reinforces that cranberry flavor. Top it off with that, and now I need a straw. I think that's pretty fun. Oh yeah, this one's a lot less sweet than the Cranberry Cosmo. So it's a little more tart. There's gin in this if you're not a vodka fan. Emma had one of these, yesterday? Mm-hmm. And Emma's not a gin drinker, but she really liked it. I think if you use the right gin, and if you use the right mixer, I think gin can be really easy to drink. And this one's pretty festive, because I think gin can be really festive for the holidays. The next one is really easy, and it's gonna be our raspberry white chocolate shot. Now this raspberry liqueur is one that I got when I was visiting my dad in Manhattan, Kansas. It's actually made in Richmond, Missouri. And I think the stuff inside is really good, but the bottle is annoying because it's so tall. It's so much taller than this one. This one's short, but this one's taller than a normal bottle, and it annoys me, so I'm trying to get rid of it. And drinking it on its own is not fun. It's too sweet. It's really raspberry-like. It's sort of like a raspberry jam, and I love that, but it needed something, so I added the white chocolate, and it's beautiful and very tasty. So I'm gonna measure, and I'm gonna do 1/2 ounce because I think some shots are way too big, and so I like a smaller shot. So that's the raspberry. Oh, I want to put the lid back on because I want to shake this. Something I learned about white chocolate liqueur is it can separate half an ounce of the white chocolate. And as I pour it in, it should layer itself. Because that white chocolate liqueur is so much heavier than the raspberry.
That's really interesting and cool, because many drinks, when you layer them, you have to use the back of a spoon.
So many of them you have to be careful with, but this one, I actually pour the raspberry in first and it layers itself naturally. Now, I don't like to drink it like this. So I swirl it together. And I'm gonna drink this one until it's all like a dirty strawberry milk. But see how that's not quite so much volume? I think this is easier to drink than a great big shot. Cheers. And it's like a raspberry white chocolate truffle. Yummy. Now the next drink is really fun because it's sort of experimental for me, based on something that I drank before on a Disney cruise. He didn't give me any like recipe, he gave me ingredients, but not specific parts or measurements. So I have a margarita glass with some ice in it because I think margaritas should be served on the rocks. And then I'm gonna start with some silver or blanco tequila. You want one that's not very citrusy. You want a smoother tequila. This one is the Hornitos Plata, 2 ounces of tequila. All right. And then we do our white chocolate liqueur, and I'm gonna do 2 ounces of this one. And then 3 ounces of our rice milk that has been steeping in the cinnamon sticks. Swirl that and pour 3 ounces. And while we were on the ship, I asked him, why do you use rice milk instead of like regular dairy milk? And he said it's because rice milk doesn't curdle. And dairy milk will curdle if you put it in high proof alcohol. So this, and it's funny because rice milk is new to me and I didn't know if I would like it or not before I bought it for this. And I actually really like it. I think it's fun. Pour it over the ice.
That's perfect.
Ta-da! And he didn't name it, so I'm gonna name it. And I'm calling it the White Christmas Margarita. And I really like it because it's not your typical citrus, lime, fruit margarita. It's a white chocolate dessert margarita. And it's pretty tasty, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah. I think that would make anyone who didn't like tequila change their mind about tequila. All right, the last drink is actually gonna be 2 martinis. So we're gonna make the same martini 2 different ways. I have peppermint schnapps. This one is an old one. They don't even make it brown anymore. If you buy it at the store now, it's clear. I've made this with this Rumpelmann's peppermint schnapps. This is pretty hard-hitting stuff. It's very, very high proof. If you are brave, it has taken us a very long time to get through this. It's not bad, it just is brown and it's not,
potent.
Well, it's very strong and it's pretty pepperminty. But I also have green creme de menthe. Now, if you're making a grasshopper, that's what you want this for, but I kind of think it's a pretty Christmassy color. So we're gonna make a peppermint martini with this peppermint schnapps and with the creme de menthe. So we're gonna do it 2 ways. I think first we're gonna do the heavy hitting one, but I'm actually gonna start, got my cocktail shaker full of ice. I'm gonna start with my peppermint twist Smirnoff vodka. This one's really fun. I really like this one, and when they bring it out every year, Mom and I always, check to make sure that we have one in stock because it's a seasonal flavor. It says limited edition. Now that's a way to get me to buy just about anything, is to tell me it's limited edition. I'm gonna do, where's my ounce? 1 ounce of peppermint vodka right into the shaker. Next, 1 ounce of our peppermint schnapps. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of an Irish cream. This is one that we've had in a smaller bottle, like one of the miniatures, because it's a fun bottle and the miniature bottles actually look exactly like this. But we really liked it and it's like a fun bottle, so we bought the big one. And I'm gonna do 1 ounce. And then just to thin it out slightly and dilute that a little bit, I'm gonna do 1 ounce of the plain rice milk. This has not been steeped in cinnamon. I think cinnamon and peppermint together is weird. That's just plain rice milk. And then we shake. We're serving it martini style, so it goes straight up into the glass. Now let's quickly reset so we can make another one and compare them. All right, we are reset. So we're gonna start with 1 ounce of the vodka. This time we'll do 1 ounce of the creme de menthe. How fun is that color? 1 ounce of our Irish cream. And I'll go ahead and do 1 ounce of the rice milk, just to make the playing field even between the two. I'm really curious which one we're gonna like better. Ooh, it's green. That's pretty.
That is beautiful.
Full disclosure, I've never made this martini with this creme de menthe before, so this will be a blind taste test. Now, Mom already tried the other one. I think I should start there, don't you?
Yes,
Okay. Did you like this one?
I did. And if you wanted it green, you could easily put a drop of green food coloring in that one.
Or you could stripe the glass with some strawberry syrup. You could put some grenadine in the bottom. And it's not so mouthwash-like. It's not so toothpaste.
It's a mellow mint.
Yeah. I think the rice milk, the creaminess of the rice milk and the Irish cream, I think that really helps mellow it out a little bit. But now, I want to try the green one. This one smells mintier. Whoa. That one's much more minty. I almost like this one better. I could only have one of those. I could have a couple of these, but I could only have one of those. What do you think?
I really like this one. I agree you couldn't have a bunch of them, but you wouldn't need a bunch of them.
Right, you have one of those. I could have 2 of these. And I could have 3 of the White Christmas margaritas. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't have garnishes on any of these. I kind of don't believe in garnishes. I feel like a garnish on a drink, especially a garnish that you're not going to eat, is kind of a waste of time and effort. So we've got our Cranberry Cosmo here. If you wanted to do a garnish, you could do like fresh cranberries. You could do a wheel of orange. If you wanted to do a garnish on this one, you could do a rim of like crushed candy canes. You could just like drop a candy cane on the top. Same with these two. You could do what they did at Disney Springs and rim your glass in frosting, which I think is very extra and totally unnecessary, but it was effective on those drinks, and I think it would be effective on that one too. But I just don't believe in garnishes just because I think that they are a nuisance. When you're trying to drink your drink, I don't want to fight a big hunk of food, especially something that I'm not going to eat. Like, you could put some cranberries in there if you really wanted to, but are you going to eat those? Probably not, because they're not cooked. So I just think that it's a waste. But if you believe in garnishes, then, you know, that's your prerogative. But that is our 5+1 festive Christmas cocktails. I did this video last year, and so I'm going to link to that video in the description box if you want to see that one too.
Because those are separate.
Well, I did go back today, and our gin fizz recipe is sort of similar to one that we made last year, but I think all the rest of them are different. But anyway, that's going to be it for today, and you guys will see me or us or some, you know, compilation of us in the next Vlogmas video. Good night, everybody.